If reading books made us fluent speakers, we would all be fluent by now. Because understanding is one thing, but when it's your turn to talk, a lot of people freeze. In today's video, guys, I'm gonna show you how to read in a way that builds fluency, using comprehensible input and 3 powerful techniques that will create a bridge between reading and speaking. And I'll show you this one mistake a lot of people make, and I also made it myself, where reading feels like progress, but it doesn't really turn into speaking. Hi guys, welcome back to When I Speak by Veronique. My name is Veronica. I am from Poland. I speak 3 languages, English and Spanish being my 2 foreign languages. On this channel, we learn smarter, not harder. So let's get started with the question. Why reading is not enough? Don't get me wrong. Reading helps you a ton. It builds vocabulary, it trains your grammar, and it makes your brain faster at understanding. But here is the key. Reading is a receptive skill. It trains recognition, but speaking is a productive skill. It trains retrieval. In plain English, that means you can recognize a phrase in the book, and you might be still not able to say it. You might still not be able to pull it out of your head. Reading alone often fails for one simple reason. You have time. You have time to reread, you have time to guess. Nobody's waiting. But when you speak, you need to choose words fast. You need to build a sentence really fast and say it out loud when somebody is in front of you. That's a completely different skill. So guys, our goal isn't to read more. Our goal is to read in a smart way. Our goal is to read in a way that prepares you for speaking. You get the difference? So the first natural question is, what am I going to read? Well, for that, we're gonna use the comprehensible input theory by Stephen Krashen. So comprehensible input in plain English, guys, is simply reading something or watching something and understanding the main point with just a little bit that's new, not 50% new, not I'm translating every sentence. It's more like you follow the story, you get the meaning, and you still learn new pieces inside it. So if you grab a book, you start reading, and you don't understand every second word, that's not comprehensible input. It means it's too difficult for you. It's decoding, and decoding is slow, frustrating, and you're gonna give up before you can even blink. Finally, guys, let me tell you about this one mistake you probably make and you don't even realize. You read things that are too hard for you. They are too difficult. And you call it discipline. How do I know? Because I made this mistake myself. I forced myself to read these difficult books about psychology, self-development. It was so frustrating. And I quit reading for many, many months until I realized that I wasn't using comprehensible input. Now let me share with you 3 powerful reading techniques. The first technique came to me really naturally. 3 weeks ago, I was working in a coffee shop and I was like, you know what? I really want to read this book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. And I was like, okay, I don't have the paper version of that book because I travel full time. I'm a digital nomad, so you know, the luggage problem here. How do I do it? Okay, I'm gonna look for an audiobook and I'm gonna read at the same time. So for that, you're gonna need your laptop or a paper book if you have, and your cell phone. The rule is very simple. You listen to the audiobook while reading at the same time. Let me demonstrate that to you. So I'm opening the book here on my laptop. You're gonna see it here. I hope you can see it. I stopped at chapter 10. And on Spotify, I found the audiobook. Of course, you can also pay for audiobooks. That's obvious.
This is the second of the 7 principles. The person who is not master of himself can never be master of others. Lack of self-mastery is, of itself, the most destructive form of indefiniteness.
What I naturally do is I move my mouth with the voice. I don't pronounce the words out loud, not yet. This is how I prepare my muscles to speak. Why it works, guys. Your eyes see the words. Your ears hear the pronunciation. Your brain stops guessing and starts matching sound to text. So you stay in the story, which keeps it enjoyable, because the most important thing here is to choose something that we like. I genuinely wanted to read this book, not because somebody told me to do so. How to apply this technique step by step. Step number 1, pick a book that has an audiobook version. Step number 2, set the speed to comfortable. If you are lost, slow it down. You have this wonderful option on Spotify, on Netflix. You can slow things down. If it's too fast, slow it down. No big deal. Step number 3, move your face as if you were reading from 10 to 15 minutes a day. One mini rule that I have here for you is to pause only if you spot a whole phrase that you want to use in real life. A whole phrase that you are like, this is so cool. I want to have it in my active vocabulary, in my vocabulary that I use daily or in business meetings. Here we go with the second powerful reading technique that builds your fluency. It's time to read out loud and check our pronunciation. This technique turns reading into speaking. So here we have 4 books. Which one are we going to choose? These are all self-help books. I'm kind of obsessed with that topic. So let's go maybe with It Didn't Start With You, Mark Wolin. It's about generational trauma. Obviously, you don't have to pick the same books. As I said, pick books that you genuinely care about. This is the book that I genuinely care about. Reading out loud doesn't automatically improve your pronunciation. If you pronounce the word wrong 20 times, you trained the wrong habit. So here's the right way. Step number 1, choose a short section from 5 to 8 sentences. Step number 2, read it out loud. This is what I'm gonna do right now. If you reject your mother, it could be that you experienced an interruption during the early bonding process with her. Not everyone who experiences a break in the early bond will reject his or her mother. What is more likely with an interruption during this period is that you experience some degree of anxiety when you attempt to bond with a partner in an intimate relationship. Intimate. That's gonna be my word. I'm gonna grab a pen, guys, and I'm gonna actually underline. I lost it. And I'm gonna underline 2, 3, 4 words that I think that my pronunciation is not really good. So that was definitely intimate. If I have here some accent coaches, they most probably would spot more words. I'm still working on my American pronunciation. So what I'm doing right now, I'm grabbing my laptop or my cell phone and I Google this word, intimate, pronunciation in American English. If you are into British English, you're gonna replace American with British.
Intimate.
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 Intimate. Intimate relationship.
Intimate.
Intimate relationship. What do? I shadow. Your benefit here. You're training mouth movement. You're training sentence rhythm, and obviously you are training speaking confidence. So please don't turn it into a perfection ritual, okay? It can be messy, it can be a little bit chaotic, you can feel a bit frustrated sometimes, it can happen. The third technique is called narrow reading, and it's one of the most underrated reading techniques. Narrow reading means you read multiple texts about the same topic for a while. So instead of jumping from romance to horror to business to psychology every single day, you narrow the topics. So you don't learn so many new words every single day, you focus on what's important to you. So as you most probably noticed, I'm really into psychology, self-help, self-development. That's my thing. Maybe your thing is gonna be business. Stick to one topic for a period of time. When the topic stays the same, your brain already understands the context. Vocabulary repeats itself naturally. You stop feeling like a beginner every time you open a new text, and you build speed and confidence. Only benefits, but only if you do it for a period of time. Later, you're gonna have to move on to a different topic, right? Because if not, your vocabulary is gonna be super limited to only one area of your life. So let's say that I pick travel, right? I'm a digital nomad, I watch travel vlogs every single day. For example, for the next month, I'm gonna be only focusing on travel vocabulary. How to speak in restaurants, airports, bus stops, and stuff like that. So I can read articles, social media posts, books on travel. Basically, the sky is the limit. You can read whatever you want, but only on that topic. The most important part of the whole video, the bridge between reading and speaking. What do we have to have here in between for me to become a confident English speaker? We have to have a speaking practice. So we already underlined some words here, and these words form phrases. For example, an intimate relationship. So your last and the most important step is gonna be grabbing your journal or your notebook, diary, whatever, and you want to write 3 phrases a day. And then you're gonna create sentences with them. For example, having an intimate relationship is a challenge. In my life, my intimate relationship brings a lot of reflection. The point is that you grab a phrase and you say it out loud, telling yourself a story or basically facts from your life. It's so important that it's about you. It has to be personal. Why? Because without emotional connection, we can learn all the phrases, but they're gonna fade away over time. We need to build emotional connection with the language we are learning. I have a lot of emotional connection with English and with Spanish and with Polish, obviously my native language. So build this connection. This is your homework. I don't like this word, but this is your job, basically, to build connection between this, the books, your reading, and your mouth. You're gonna find a way. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. I hope to see you next week in my next video. You can follow me on Instagram for more daily English tips and my personal life as a digital nomad. See you next week. Take care. You got this.